Okay, so we're back with this project and we're almost done. We did get our plug. We went ahead and installed it, drilled us a couple of mount holes, and we just used some small panhead bolts. So this is going to be the finished product once it's in the box, but right now we're getting ready to wire it up. What we did though, we went ahead, the lock nut that goes inside the box, we went ahead and hot glued it into place, and we hot glued the secondary CT into place. That way it's nice and secure. And then we took the wires to the secondary CT, to channel 2 CT, glued them down so it doesn't affect where our wires come in. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start positioning and running the wires and get them all cut and into place. So the first thing we're going to do is run our wires through, and I'll explain it. But before I go ahead and do that, if you look at the back of this plug, you'll see the letters. You have a W here for this one, that's for the white wire. You have X and Y. Now X is normally the red, Y is normally the black, but it really doesn't matter. It's just two different sides of 110 power to equal the 240, and then you have the green, which is obviously the ground. So we're going to go ahead, get these wires set up, get it in place, and we're going to start making all the connections and getting everything positioned and ready. So first we're going to feed through and get our wires in. Some of these wires are going to be way too long. They're going to need to be cut. But we're also working with this big, thick monster cord, which is 6 gauge, capable of 50 amps. So we're going to go ahead, run all of our wires through, position it where we're going to want it. And I'm going to run the red up and through the internal. So because I'm doing that, I want the red wire on this side. So I'll go ahead, thread this in. And then I'll position the red, and I'm going to want to go down with it. I'm going to want it low. We'll set those wires there for now. We'll thread this. And we're just going to snug it up for now for our wire clearance. And we'll shove so our insulation comes to the edge. And we'll drop that all the way down there. Now we're going to want to go through here. And it is a little on the tight side, so it does require a little bit of work to get it through. I put the rag down so it don't scratch everything up on the face of it as we fight these big wires, because they are not the easiest to have to work on. So there's our red wire. And we'll work the red one first. So we'll just move those out of our way. We'll set it there. Now this 110 hot lead, this is line 1. And we're going to want to go ahead, trim it down as needed. Well, this one looks like I can get away without trimming, so we're just going to want to shave off about a 1/2 inch of the insulation, and it will be run with this red wire. They will both connect to the same place, and that's going to be both our line 1s. And as you can see, this is some really thick copper wire here. So we'll go ahead and start getting it positioned. And we'll go ahead and trim our small feed wire for the meter. And shave it so it's ready, and we're going to want about a 1/2 inch of wire available on that also. We'll shave a little more off, try and keep them equal. And take a little more of the insulation. Not much. So we'll go ahead, put those two together. And we'll shove them in one by one. We'll start with the big heavy one. Then we'll go ahead and pack the little one down underneath it, which is proven to be a little bit of a chore. Maybe we should have put the little one in first. So we'll go ahead, drop the little one in underneath. Maybe we'll just do this instead. And we'll shove them both in together. And that'll cover our hot side. Then we're going to want to tighten it down good and tight. And there we go. There's our first power leg. Now our second power leg, we'll move these two over here out of the way. We're going to want to run over here. And this one, well, looks like we may want to move the ground first. And our line 2 will go through there. Now this one we're definitely going to have to trim down. And this wire is a little bit difficult to work because it is so thick. We'll pull our small common out of there. It's proven to get in the way. And this wire will position around the top, and we'll pull this one also, and we'll bring it down and run it with it. Well, nah. We'll go across there instead. Really doesn't matter. It's all going to be inside the box, and once it's inside the box and the box is closed up, it's not going to make much of a difference. So we'll shade a 1/2 inch on our small wire first. And then we'll determine our hot, and then we'll go ahead, trim it. And because of the gauge of wire being so thick, we need bigger cutters to avoid gnawing it all up. Small wire cutters don't work well with these big gauge wires. We'll go ahead, trim it. About a 1/2 inch also. Then we'll do the same as we did with the red. That seemed to work really well. So we'll go ahead, do the same with this. Get it all in there together nice and tight. Then we'll go ahead, loop it around, put it in, and clamp it down. You can go ahead, like and subscribe, and stay tuned till the end for our low amp load test. And in our next video, we will be including a air conditioning soft start unit, which helps for generator home backup use for firing up air conditioning units while being powered on backup generator. Okay, we got it in, and we'll go ahead, clamp it down. Nice and tight, just like the line 1. And that's real nice and tight. So now we'll go to work with our ground wire. So I'm thinking we're going to trim that one right around there. No extra wire with this one, so this will go a lot easier. But we still need the 1/2 inch. Trimmed off it. And as you're doing this, you want to make sure there are no small pieces of wire laying around anywhere that can make unnecessary contacts between connectors that we do not want. And there's our ground. Now we'll prepare to do the common, which is also common, neutral. Some electricians will call it a neutral. Some will call it a common. They basically are both one and the same. Me personally, common, neutral, it really doesn't matter to me. I refer to it as both. So every time you hear me calling it common, it's also neutral. So now we'll run our white wire underneath. We'll go over our ground and we'll go under our red. And determine exactly where we're going to want to cut it. It is also a little on the long side. I'm thinking right there is going to do us just fine. So we'll make the cut and we'll make the final connection. And then we'll drop it in the box and complete the process. And I did still put the 30 amp plug on the cord. So it'll work with some of the smaller generators. But this has been built, so it is fully capable of 50 amps. Or 50 amps of power consumption through it. The meter is capable of 30,000 watts. Each circuit transformer are capable of 100 amps each. So it's going to be more than enough for what we're going to be using it for. And everything is capable of 600 volts, with the exception of our small wire. Our small wire is capable of 240 volts. And basically that is all we're ever going to use it for anyway. Because we're not building it to work on commercial generators. So that's our final connection. Looks like everything is good. So we'll take one last quick look before we assemble it in the box. We've got all our connections in place. We have all our small lines for our meters. We have our internal circuit transformer. That's why this wire runs through the box. And we have our external circuit transformer. That's what we glued here. Then we have our nice heavy duty grommet. So let's go ahead, drop it in the box, and get it as a completed project. And then you can stay tuned. We will do the testing of it in a different video. I will do a minor test and attach it to this video just a light load test, but the full test will be done in a different video. So we'll back this off a little bit. And we'll drop our box over top of it. And now we have to flip it all completely over. And assemble it. So we'll start running our screws into it. And we'll snug them up as before. We'll just snug them up till we get them all lined up and in place. Now we got them all in place. Now we'll finish. We'll shove our wire in and we'll finish by getting this nice and tight. We'll pull that up out of our way. We'll get this good and snug. It's looking real good. We'll get our wire where it's sitting nice and pretty. And when we tighten this up, this will tighten up around our inlet lead and give us a good weather tight seal at the same time. But keep in mind, this is not built for permanent outdoor use. It is not waterproof. It can handle some water, but it is not designed to be waterproof. And there's our finished product. I'll update the 50 amp plug at the end, but you see we got the 30 amp twist lock on there, the 14-30R. Well, actually 14-30P, my mistake. R is the plug, the insert plug, not the tabbed plug. So we're going to get ready to run some small tests and stay tuned for the next video and we'll move forward from there. Thank you for watching. This is Mr. DIY Guy. Let's look at our low amp load test. And our line 1, line 2 voltage and hertz are running pretty equal. We're looking pretty good. And we're still running roughly 280 watts on channel 1 and 265 watts on channel 2.